Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the plot tour on the 22nd of December. And kicking off, as always, with the rhubarb bed, showing more signs than a month ago of life from the crowns. And the wallflowers haven't been blown away this year. Picket fence seems to be doing its thing, protecting them. And we've got some buds on the Tabery. Perhaps a little bit early, but it's been quite a mild beginning to the winter, really. I think that's encouraging a few things to bud up. And here we are with the strawberries. There's supposed to be some garlic in there, but as yet I haven't seen much sign of it. It's being a bit shy. So the potato pots have got some spring onions in them. They are visible just, but we found out after putting them in that they don't really like being in containers, so they probably won't do terribly well. So nothing happening in this bed. Just things breaking down after the courgettes were in there. And here are our berries, our black currants and gooseberries. Just some residues around the sides of them. Actually, a bit of disturbance there. I think probably a fox have been having a go. See, it looks like we've got some garlic. Yeah, we've got some garlic showing signs around. Bit of life there, which is encouraging. And here we are at the spa garden, our 2 baths. So nothing in this one. And some carrots just finishing off in here. I've gone and harvested a few of those. And we've still got some autumn king we really haven't touched, and they're kind of bursting out of the ground, desperately trying to tell us that they're ready. So we will get round to them at some point. Some spinach and mustard, and our runner bean residues just still breaking down. And more cover crops. And this bed's really come to the end. There is some beetroot and turnips, kohlrabi in there that's probably still usable. And here's our January king cabbages. As yet not hearted up to the point where we can have anything. This one's probably the first, most likely. Might get that in January, otherwise they'll end up as being February king. And more cover crops. Both these beds are cover crops. That's something I was saying quite a lot this time last year. And peach peregrine. Finally dropped most of his leaves. Had a good year putting on growth, so it'd be interesting if we can get some fruit next year. Considering sort of taking it further up, but I think next year I'll probably let it consolidate its 3 horizontals. But then it's such a vigorous grower, I may have to wrestle with it. So the corral, shed unchanged. I'm thinking about doing something in the back of the corral, although it will probably end up being a bit of a fight with bindweed and ivy and the like, so I may not get very far with that. So the flower area and the bench area all been put to bed. I have replaced some of the very light coloured caramel square steps with some more subtle ones along the back here, and I've also added in this log edging to deter the foxes, although they still managed to throw one of the big logs out of the way and start digging a hole in there, so I've gone and plugged that. So I've still left the lily stems just to let us know where they are, so we're going to dig some of those up, probably all of them up, but there was a couple of them we were wanting to keep, and we'll probably dispose of the rather garish rhubarb and custard ones. So wallflowers there, it's looking okay. So the tubs on either side of this rose arch, well, one of them was victim to a fox who decided that wanted to have a dig, so my beautifully arranged purple and pink tulips are probably now in a right mess. So we're going to add in a border along the front here. For any of you that have got grass up to bark, you'll know the issue with trying to edge it is you keep chewing into the bark and it's a real pain. So it'd be nice to be able to add that in, and gives us an extra bit of growing space, so probably a mix of flowers and produce. So this is a new bit since the last video. So I've put in a woodland walkway, and the 8 variety of plums are in. I will put a list down below of what the varieties are, but 4 of them are what I think of as heritage varieties. 2 from the 1800s, 2 from the early 1900s. I think this one, which I had to get in honour of my dad, was registered in Bristol in 1923, called Black Prince, and 1923 is the same year as my father was born. So the idea about having as many as that is because they will, according to the blurb about them, should give us a cropping of plums for about 4 months. Whether that'll actually happen or not, who knows. Parsnips, plenty in there. The foliage has died down. We're going to be having some for Christmas. That one, top of that one, looks a little bit curious. I bet you that's all top and no bottom. So here we are, cover crop yet again on another one of those beds. Brussels sprouts, they're getting there. I think we've actually got something that's worth harvesting on some of them. Probably going to look out for a stumpier variety next year, where the sprouts themselves aren't so sparsely arranged. So we've got some spinach. Again, it's potentially harvestable. Looking forward to getting that in February, if it's anything like the spinach that we had at the beginning of this year. And the fruit garden. The lavender has all been chopped back, and to reveal that there is actually a pathway there. But it's all dormant now. The dahlias, I've got the residues just breaking down on top, and hopefully that will give enough cover to keep the tubers protected over the winter. I will have to cut down that Naughtier now. It's turning into a bit of a thug. And back to the rhubarb. So I dug out the last of the leeks that were over there, and the new raspberry seems to be doing okay. And this particular rhubarb crown here, I will dig that up in January, and that's going to be divided amongst several people. And there's a crown here that I'm just going to move back into its place, different variety, and that'll give a little bit more space at the front here for other things, because we are rather overloaded with rhubarb. And that's it. So I wish everybody a happy Christmas and have a fantastic 2020. Bye for now.